Hey, this is Ari, and in this video, I want to share with you a little clip from a recent podcast I did with my friend Dr. Yogi Hendlin on how science is manipulated by industry. This is an incredibly important thing to understand right now, given the state of the world, and this is extremely valuable information from one of the world's top experts in this particular field, who actually studies this and teaches about it as a professor in a university in the Netherlands. So enjoy, and if you want to listen to the full-length episode, which I highly recommend, the link for that is down in the description below. Enjoy.
We have, climate meltdown. We have an infectious disease pandemic. We have currently a war going on in Europe. And we also are living, you could say, in a time of peak exposure to chemicals. We had the First and Second World War, which really buffed up our military industrial complex, which largely was driven by mining and chemical exploration. So we have a lot more toxins in our atmosphere, and even those of us who are living very privileged lives are still exposed to these toxins. We are porous animals as humans, and there's no way we can live in personal commodity bubbles, even if we live in nice places, right? And that's one of the things that I really look at, because it's very easy to think that if we buy the right things, if we, drink, bottled water or live in nature, that we're going to be safe. But the fact is, in our air, our water, our soil, and the temperature, right? This is really elemental. It's like 4 element stuff. We are being exposed to immense disruptions, mutations, in our environment, which of course are impacting our organisms as humans. So that's one of the things that I really look at. I call it, based on this emergent subfield, industrial epidemics. Mm-hmm. And I don't just confine that to, cancers and heart disease and diabetes from, high sugar consumption or smoking or exposure to petrochemicals. I see it as impacting every aspect of our life. For example, virus itself hitches rides on environmental pollution. So every time we're driving our cars, we are, in essence, contributing to particulate matter, PM 2.5, it's called, which is the perfect carrier for viruses. And so until we clean up upstream, at the very most fundamental levels of our social design, of how we get things done, we're not going to actually solve the problem. It's just going to be in 1,000 patches, and people are going to be wondering, what went wrong and why we're all getting autoimmune diseases.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. And if you want to listen to the full-length podcast, the link for that is down in the description below. Also, one more thing before you go, I want to mention, in case you don't already know about it, our formula, Energenesis. This is an amazing product that has multiple compounds in it that are scientifically proven in numerous studies to increase your energy levels, not just by 3% or 5% or 10%, but by 30 or 40 or 50% in a very, very short time frame. So one of these compounds that I'll mention here is called Factor Phospholipid, and it is an extract of phospholipids that comes from lecithin, and they extract the pure phospholipids from this, things like phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and many others. And these are the same fatty acid compounds, phospholipid compounds, that compose our cell membranes and mitochondrial membranes. And this specific patented formula has been shown actually to enter into the bloodstream, undigested, basically, without being broken down and denatured through the digestive process in the stomach and the intestines. It makes it into the bloodstream and actually makes it all the way to our cells and to our mitochondria, where it helps repair damaged mitochondrial membranes and facilitates our mitochondria functioning better. Now, all of that sounds like wonderful theory, and it sounds like it could be beneficial, but the real test is, has it actually been studied and been proven to increase your energy levels? And the answer is yes, absolutely. There are numerous studies outlined in a wonderful paper by a scientist named Garth Nicholson in a paper called Lipid Replacement Therapy. I highly recommend checking this out if you're interested in digging into the research. But this compound has been studied in the context of multiple different kinds of chronic fatigue. Aging-related chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue, obscure things like Gulf War illness, and numerous studies in chronic fatigue syndrome. And there are studies showing that this has the capability. They've taken one study, in fact, actually showed that in elderly adults over the age of 65, it restored their mitochondrial health, which had deteriorated heavily. It restored it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, believe it or not. And they've actually measured energy levels in these people. And all of these studies across the board show improvements in energy of at least 25%, and typically more like 35 to 45% in just the span of between 4 to 12 weeks. That's how long all of these studies are, 4 to 12 weeks. They're showing dramatic, huge improvements in energy levels by helping to repair these mitochondrial membranes through this thing called lipid replacement therapy, using, again, this patented form of a phospholipid extract called NT factor. This is just one of about 20 ingredients proven to benefit mitochondrial health that you'll find in my formula Energenesis. So I strongly encourage you, if you are struggling with your energy levels, if you're dealing with chronic fatigue, go grab yourself a bottle or 3 of this, or subscribe and save. Try it out. You are going to be blown away by the results. We get so many testimonials. We get so many emails from people talking about how this one thing has transformed their lives. So I cannot encourage you strongly enough to give this a shot. And let's say you buy 3 bottles, try out the first one, give it a month. And if you don't notice significant improvements, you can return the unopened bottles to us for a full refund. So give it a shot. I really think you're going to be blown away by the results. The formula is called Energenesis, and you can get it at theenergyblueprint.com or click the link below. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again very soon.